Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and coming at you with my Flosstube update number 204. This is the channel about cross stitch. For those of you who might be new here, thank you to my returning subscribers, and welcome to anyone who might have come to this channel for the first time. If you'll hit the subscribe button and the little bell, you'll be notified whenever I do an update, which is usually on Saturdays. So let's get started, shall we? I'm going to start with what I've been working on most recently, and then work my way up to I have a finish, sort of finish, depending on how you count finishes, but I'm calling it a finish. Anyway, so yesterday, we filmed our sticks and strings video, the one I do with my sisters. We filmed it yesterday because today, on Saturday, my younger sister Naomi is driving up to a point in far north Arizona, or she just arrived there not too long ago, but she's going fly fishing. So she left for that this morning. So we did our update yesterday. So during the update, I worked on, I was like casting it out, and I thought, oh, I don't have anything to work on. So I picked up this little Chessie and Me kit. It's a scissor fob kit. And I've talked about this before, that it's a little problematic because you're supposed to do the acorn bottoms here in Smyrna crosses, and like satin stitches for the acorn cap, and then the rest is basically cross stitch, except for the cat's eyes are done also in Smyrna crosses, and then the little back stitching for the whiskers. And then on the back side of the scissor fob is just more acorns, and you can put like your initials or whatever on there. So this is a little kit that I got at the attic. It came with the fabric and the threads, and all that, and the needle even, and all that. So, let's see, it goes like this. So I did not do the Smyrna crosses for the acorn because it just looked like blobs of thread. You couldn't tell that they were Smyrna crosses. This is very, it's a, I think 30 count, I don't have it in front of me, 30 count straw, gingham, natural gingham, something or other, but it's 30 count. And it's just really hard to see. And during the video yesterday, I was like, even with my glasses on, I was like, and I just was having to go really slow and having to take it out and put it back and take it out and put it back because it just like didn't look right or whatever. So, yeah, it's really, I thought, oh, I can knock that out in no time. It's so easy. It's small. Blah blah blah. No, it's really hard, because mostly just because of this material that it's on. It just makes it more difficult. Anyway, I worked on that, and I did maybe, I don't know, just a handful of stitches because it was so hard. And so then last night, I decided to work on a little bit, more of this one. Midnight Meow. This is old Jiffy Dimensions kit. And like I said, I somehow threw away or whatever the threads that came with this kit. I'm like, what is this for? And of course they were for this kit. But I had just put them in one of a little thread box, whatever thing, and basically I guess threw them away. So I had gone through with the pattern and just penciled in like a DMC equivalent, and I kind of went by this picture, right? I just chose some threads that looked right, and I think I had done part of the beginning of it. I think I'd done this middle cat here, and so I was using that to eyeball some threads for it all, and they were mostly okay, and except for I hadn't done this last cat yet. And I don't know if you can tell from this picture, it's kind of it looks yellowish, or in real life, but it's a tan color. And the color that the thread that I originally chose for this was, when I was about to start I felt like it didn't contrast enough with these stitches, and it just didn't look right. So before I started on it, I went to choose a different thread, one that looked a little yellower, a little lighter, a little tanner. The color that on the chart is called tan, and so I was looking for something that would show up, and so I chose a color, and I put in about that much. It was 2 lengths of thread, so not quite as far as this one is, but and it didn't contrast enough. You really couldn't see it wasn't the same shade as these stripes, but you really couldn't see them. It was just very close, very blending in. So so I took it all out, two strands worth of just I unstitched it all, and then stitched the rest of this in the wee hours this morning. And I like that contrast better. You can see the stripes. It's not quite white like this, but so I just have the rest of this cat to finish, and then there's a moon and some French knot stars, which I will probably do colonial knots for. And then there's a little bit of back stitching. There's the cat's faces in around their eyes and their little mouths and stuff, and around this cat's body, I think there's a little back stitching. I don't know if it's around each cat, but anyway, it's just not too bad. But so I'm hoping I can finish this at long last. I don't know what I'm going to do with it exactly, if I'm going to frame it or not, something. But that brings me then to my sort of finish. So I started this as a mystery. It was a mystery sal back in 2019. And I thought, very ambitiously, I'm going to do the drums option. There's an option where you can either stitch it all in one like this, or you can make 4 little drums, and there's a pattern for the toppers of the drums. Patterns, a different pattern for each topper. And so I thought, I'll make drums. I've never done that before. Something different, something new. I hesitate to make something that's just basically a wall hanging, because I don't really have space here to put stuff on the walls. So I was going to do drums, so I can put them wherever. And so I haven't done that yet. There's a good tutorial that Vanna Pfeiffer did that I'll probably use at some point, but I haven't thought that far ahead. Right now, I just finished this top design. So here it is. Let me get this folded right so you can see it better. I showed this last time, but now I've done all the white. And, excuse me, I had talked last week about whether or not I was going to do glow-in-the-dark thread, some of the Krynic that they suggested to make the stars sparkle or whatever. And then I thought, well, I even bought like a Krynic glow-in-the-dark thread. But in the end, I used Etoile. I actually bought this because I wasn't sure whether I bought a bunch of Etoile colors at some point at Hobby Lobby, and I wasn't sure if I had, this is blanc, basically white. I wasn't sure if I had this already, but so I went ahead and bought it, and it turned out I did, so I used that. But so it's just sparkly enough, and without being too much of a hard thing to work with, like Krynic can be sometimes. But there's a little bit of backstitching for the moon's face and the vampire face, and where it says R.I.P. and this tombstone down here. That's charted in white, so I just went ahead and used the Etoile. But I used the toile for the ghosts and the stars and the vampire's face and the clouds. And there's and the eye of this crow or raven. And there's 3 little purple stitches for his hat band there. And a little bit of back stitching for the vine of the pumpkins. You can't really see it very well here. But so it's all done. So I thought about working on the little topper. I have enough fabric on here, but it would have required measuring, to put the topper thing in the right place, and I just didn't feel like doing that. So at the moment, so I worked on the other patterns, but I haven't finished, sort of. So that brings me a little bit to my haul, because for one thing, I was a little bored, and I was at Hobby Lobby because I went to buy the toile, and while I was there, I bought this punch needle pattern. It comes with the cloth and the threads, and I have a punch needle tool, and I keep saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do that," because I watched one of Von Pfeiffer's tutorials, and I thought, okay, I finally understand, exactly what I'm supposed to do. But I just and I got all excited, and because I have a subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, and there's beautiful punch needle patterns in there a lot, and so of course, and so I there was 1 or 2 that I've really fallen in love with, but I've just never done it because I never worked up the courage to try it yet. But I like this little kit. It's not too difficult. It's pretty simple, and I think I'm gonna try this before I try any of the other patterns, and we'll see how that goes. A lot of them have, like, they call for Valdani threads, which I don't have, and I don't know that I have any way of doing any kind of conversion or anything like that, or if I want to. But if I do them, I'd have to order Valdani threads, or some of them have, like, DMC alternatives or whatever, but not all of them do. A lot of them just have the Valdani threads listed. So we'll see how that goes. Hold on 1 second. Okay. But anyway, so I got that the other day at Hobby Lobby. But when I was basically trying to decide what to do next, because I'm still doing the Witchy Stitchy challenge, which is to stitch at least 30 minutes a day. And so since I finished the Sleepy Hollow thing, I was thinking, do I want to go ahead and keep going on that? Do I want to do something different? Something not holiday related at all, whatever, not Halloween related or whatever. But I have these stitching with the Housewives charts. I have Catoween Cal, this one right here, as well as Ghoul Garland, Ghoul's Garland. This one here, which I really like this one. And I think this is the one that came with a free chart that came with Pumpkin Pile. I think it came free with the purchase of this. And I also have this chart, Thankful, which was a freebie chart. This is a little bit stretched out, but it's the word thankful, and then these little pumpkins. So I've had these charts. I have a bunch of I have several Stitching with the Housewives charts, but these 3 were Halloween related. And I thought, well, I could stitch them. I can, dye some fabric, gray or whatever. But then I thought, well, I have this. I use this fabric for pumpkin pile, and because I had originally intended to use this for Sleepy Hollow, but it came out very dark. The gray. This is like a gray color. I don't remember what of Rit dye, but it came out very dark. And since there's so much black in that design, I didn't want to use it for Sleepy Hollow. But it would work worked well for the pumpkin pile chart, and for the other this will work, I think, for the other charts that I have. And since those are smaller designs, I think I can fit them easily on this. This is and I have another piece of fabric just like this. Because I like I said, I dyed them for the Sleepy Hollow pattern. So I'm going to use these for those charts there. Now, Priscilla, who designed those charts, typically uses Classic Colorworks threads. There is a DMC alternative listed on the patterns for each of those, but she also lists the Classic Colorworks colors. So yesterday I was going through all my stuff and all the patterns that I recently purchased that I've talked about out here, the ones I got at Stitcher's Garden, and then some others that I bought on different occasions. And so I was looking at them, and they're charted in different things. Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, Gentle Arts, DMC. Some combination of them or whatever. So I got a bit of a wild hair, and I went and just made a list of like what I have. The not the DMC, because I have a lot of those, but the Fancy Floss that I have. I have a lot of Weeks Dye Works, a little bit of some Classic Color Works, and a little bit of Gentle Arts. So I went through and listed like what I needed basically for to chart up those charts. Sorry if there's a little bit of noise. There's the bathtub in here. If you run it, it makes a lot of noise. And my sister's taking a bath right now. So today we mounted an expedition, my sister and I, my older sister and I, to the attic. And I got a bunch of threads. You don't want to know how much money I spent. But so I had made this big list of all the Fancy Floss, that I lacked. And really I was able to find most of them except for the Gentle Arts colors. They had a lot of them, but several of the colors I was looking for, they did not have. And they even had actually a basket where there were several colors in this basket, and I thought, oh, is that for something? The colors that they have there sitting in the basket, are they for some project or something? And I was trying to tell because one of the colors that I was looking for was in that basket. And so, I was like, And so one of the employees came by to do something else, and I asked her, I said, are those colors in the baskets, are they for something specific? Or, and she said, oh no, you can, what it is, most of the ones that they have, they're up in these little twists. And these, I guess it was a shipment that had just come in, so they hadn't had a chance to twist them yet. So they were just, hanks of threads like this. So So yeah. So I got a whole bunch of Classic Colorworks colors. Let me grab them all here. I don't want to. I'm not gonna sit there and list all of them because I got a whole bunch. So these are all the Classic Colorworks colors that I got for various things. And oh, and I just bought another one of these little simple zipper pouches at the attic there, because I like them a lot. They're not that they're not expensive, you know, like cloth project bags can be. So I can get, you know, a whole bunch of them, and they're not like there's some that are made of that clear vinyl, and they're a little bit, sometimes they can be a little problematic. I have a couple of those, and the ink on some of the patterns tends to stick to those. So, but it does not stick to these little mesh plastic things. They're not very sturdy necessarily because, you know, they tend to get a little, you know, creasy. But anyway, so these are all the Classic Colorworks colors that I got. There's a whole bunch. And then Gentle Arts. This is the one that I got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these, and probably as many that they didn't have. There are probably six or so that they didn't have. But I got those. And then I got a whole bunch of Weeks colors. And some of them I got from that basket where they weren't, you know, put in the little twists yet. But I think there was one color, one or two, one I think yes, of the Weeks Dye Works colors that I couldn't find. So I'm just gonna show them. There's these and these. See if I can grab them all here. And there's the one from the basket. And these. So just a whole bunch of fancy flosses. I'm probably gonna have to, you know, I have those metal rings, and that I have these little floss drops basically on that, you know, that they come on, and the Weeks Dye Works one that I have the most of those colors, and it's very full, and so I'm probably gonna have to do a secondary thing. And you know, I wish I had more room, you know, like a craft room with a closet or whatever where I could hang these up, but I really don't have that sort of room for them. So I don't know. I have room on my little rings, my metal rings, for the Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts work colors. But we shall see what I have room for. Anyway, so that's my haul from the attic today. And that's probably it. So I'm hoping to finish that Midnight Meow, and the Chessie and me thing. You know, if I feel like I have the energy to sit there and, you know, do the microscopic difficult stitches, I might. Because actually, you know, in my room where I usually stitch, I have a bright light, you know, that I can use. that will maybe help me, put the stitches in the right place, which is what I was struggling with while we were making our video, and I was working on it. But I'm hoping that that maybe with better lighting, I can move that a little bit faster. So my plans are to work on the Midnight Meow chart and hopefully finish that in a few days. Because if I work on it today, I can finish the one cat, and then, I just have the moon and little stars to work on, and then the little back stitching that it has, and it'll be done. So probably, certainly this week, I can finish that, and maybe I can finish the Chessie and me scissor fob, and then I still have a week or so to work on the stitching with the Housewives charts, and I don't know that I can necessarily finish everything by Halloween, but I can give it a shot. So that's I think that's my plan for the rest of the month. But I have those charts that I bought at Citrus Garden, and I have a few other charts that are like, my fingers are burning, wanting to do new starts. Even though I still have 20 some whips going on. Because as soon as I finish one, I have, new starts. So, I don't know. I still have, Spring Scamper is still on the back burner, and my my September Super Showstopper projects, the Monster Wonder Whale and Heaven and Nature Sing. I still have those. I kind of paused them once October started, and I wanted to work on Sleepy Hollow and other sort of Halloween related things. So the Super Showstoppers, I may get back to those before the end of the month or not, depending on how I'm doing with my other charts. But if I can finish Midnight Meow, would really be great, because that's, like I said, one of my oldest whips. The chart itself is from 1990 something. When did I move to Little Rock in 1989. So the Midnight Meow is from like 1990 something. Let me see if the chart itself says something about, here it is. I want to say 94? 92. The copyright on it is 1992, so that's probably around the time I did it. I started it. So so if I can finish that and get it knocked out, that'd be great, because then it would be 92, 2002, 2012, 2022, almost 30 years. 29 years or so that I've had it, in the works. So it'd be nice to get it done. But anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing. As far as everything else goes, I want to put another plug in for the Etsy shop, Three Sisters Creative. We have a little bit of a sale going on for the month of October. So, and we've got a few Halloween things if you're interested in that, and just other general stuff. There's scissor fobs and needle minders, project bags. They're listed on the Etsy site. So yeah, go have a look. Like I said, we're having a sale. I think it is 15% off of a purchase of $35 or more. Something along those lines. But so have a look and see if there's something on there that you want to buy. Anyway, Three Sisters Creative, the number 3 and the words Sisters Creative is our Etsy shop, and I'll list all that information in the description box below. So yeah, that's where my plans are for now. I think that's about it. So hopefully I'm back on schedule now for doing my updates on Saturdays, and because we were out of town last week, and look at my schedule a little. It's like this seems like a short week, and it's because I filmed last week last week's update on this past Monday, so it's only been a few days. It hasn't been quite a week. But anyway, so yeah, that's about everything, I think. And yeah, so I'll see you next week. Again, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and I'll see you next time. Bye.